Hi everyone. Today I wanted to do a product review for you. And no, I'm not driving, don't worry. I'm actually sitting outside of a Starbucks. I'm going to go in and do some work for a couple hours before I head off to my oldest stepson's back to school night. He's a freshman. Craziness. My husband teaches at the same school, so I get to go to the freshmen's classes tonight. Anyway, so I wanted to do a product review for you on the Roomba. So cleaning, none of us like cleaning. So sometimes we look for some shortcuts. Well, the Roomba is those automatic little vacuums. They're round. They're about yay big. And some of them have timers, so you can set the timer so that it goes at a certain time every day. And you can set up little gates so it stays in a certain room. And then it has little brushes on the bottom, and it picks up, dirt and hair and all that. And then there's a little tray and kind of a dust catcher deal in it. They're generally kind of expensive. You can get some refurbished ones for usually, I don't know, maybe around $150. I know I've had a coworker who got one on Woot for a pretty good deal, but off the top of my head, I don't recall what the rate was. It's a pretty good machine. I will tell you, I've had a couple different Roombas. If you don't use it very often, it can be really frustrating to use, especially if you're like me. Like, I've got a lot of hair, and we have a cat, and if it's not being used a lot and you haven't vacuumed right before you use it, the brushes just could get full of hair, and then there's a lot of dust, and it'll get in, and then it'll beep at you and tell you that you have to clean out the brushes, and sometimes it just feels like a hassle. But if you're good about using it regularly, it's going to pick up a lot. And then you've also got to be emptying it regularly, so it's not like you have this little robot vacuum and it's magic, you never have to do anything. No, you still have to clean it out, clean out the brushes. Every time I dump the dust and the dirt out, I clean out the brushes, which makes it easier. And usually there's not that much, and I just take my fingers along, and then I get some hair and the little end pieces too that gets in there. But it's going to take you less. It's like 2 minutes to clean it out, and then you save all that vacuuming time. It's kind of nice. I don't really like to run it in the same room that I'm in. I'd prefer to, at night, sometimes I'll set it downstairs to go, and then it's fine. It doesn't bother me when I'm trying to sleep on our first level. Or in the morning when I leave for work, maybe I'll turn it on upstairs, and then it can just go and do its thing. And sometimes it finds its little way back to its home and recharges. Sometimes it gets stuck on something. I have a fan that has a base, and sometimes it'll get stuck up on the base. One thing, if you run it regularly, if you're going to run it every day or have it on a schedule, it is going to force you to have everything picked up, because it actually got a scarf kind of hooked into it the other day that was trailing on the floor. Cords, it'll try and suck up cords, so you're going to have to keep everything picked up, which, if you need kind of a little help, a little reminder to help you do that, might be really good for you, and it'll keep everybody else. One really interesting story from using the Roomba. I went and turned it on upstairs one day when I got home from work. Wasn't really paying attention. I was, downstairs doing other stuff, because that is the joy of having the little robot vacuum. You don't have to be there. Well, I heard some weird noises. And eventually I go upstairs, and it was in the room that my husband kind of uses as an office, and he's a teacher, and he generally has a lot of papers. And so he had piles of papers all over the floor. So the Roomba got in to the papers and chewed a bunch of them up, or crinkled them pretty badly. So that was not good. And actually, the way this went is that I don't think I didn't go up and check it out right away, but he got home and he went up and he thought our cat did it. And that cat his little life was going to be about over. And then I went up and looked, and I'm like, what happened? You know, it's not like her to do that. She likes to play with papers, but she doesn't destroy them. And then it dawned on me that it was the Roomba that did it. So I tried to help. I tried to clean it all up for him. I felt pretty bad. But if you're going to use the Roomba regularly and schedule it, keep everything picked up, which it actually be really nice. That's what we want, right? Is everything picked up and clean and orderly, and so we can enjoy our houses. Sometimes, the first Roomba I had, it got like some little dust in its eye, I guess, and it started going backwards and didn't work very well. I found some tips online. You can try blowing it out with an air compressor, and I did that a couple times and it would help for a while. And I found some other tips too about how to take it all the way apart and really do some cleaning, but that was just way more effort than I really wanted to do, so I didn't do that. I ended up buying another one, and I actually still have the old one because I keep thinking I'm going to fix it, but I haven't yet, so it's probably going to get donated to somebody who likes to fix things. If that might be you, you could leave me a message down below. Another note, a friend of mine who's had a few, she's got a lot of pets, and she actually doesn't have carpets, but she likes to pick up pet hair on her wood floors and that. And she bought it from a company that will replace it. You know, they have a really good customer service policy. If I recall correctly, it's the Hemaker Schlemmer, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. But you might want to check into that rather than even going like the refurbished route like I've done. If I was going to buy another one, I might, you know, if I was going to need to buy another one, I would probably buy a brand new one from a company that's going to replace it if something does go wrong or dust gets in its eye and it starts doing the going backwards thing or something. Anyway, not a bad little tool, but you do, you know, kind of have to learn some of the ins and outs on how often you should use it and cleaning it, that it is necessary. Anyway, hope you check it out. Maybe you'll find the Roomba saves you some time in the vacuuming department.